Hello, hello, hello. I'm sorry for being late. I'm having some Facebook technology issues. It does not want to let me be great. How about that? It is not right, is it? I was trying to get on. It didn't want to show my camera. Then all kinds of crazy stuff was going on. But I don't care. I'm a little behind, but I'm going to get this message out here anyway because it's important and it's what people need to know. So just to let you know, for those who don't know me, I'm Carmela Bell. I'm the diabetes success coach and strategist. I'm a #1 best-selling author of the book Push Through, 7 Steps to Help You Push Through Diabetes Overwhelm. I'm the mom of a child with type 1 diabetes, so we never ever stop dealing, thinking, counting, tweaking about diabetes. And I'm also a licensed marriage and family therapist associate, which simply means I've been trained to help people improve their lives and the way they think and feel about everything that's going on in their day to day. So I am here today because I want to just help people to understand why this mission is important to me. I'm trying to keep this glare off my glasses because I feel like it's distracting. And there is that darn alarm again. Every day. It just happened yesterday. Just one moment. Let me go ahead and fix it now. Sorry about that. I tell you, you got to deal with all these things that want to happen just when you decide to do something. But anyway, I had to go switch that or else we'll hear that alarm sounding very loudly and hope that doesn't happen. If it does, oh well, it's just what happens in life. So anyway, as I was saying, I am on a mission. I'm on a mission to have one less amputation. I'm on a mission to decrease the number of people who are losing their lives due to diabetes. And due to diabetes because they're not equipped with the information that they need in order to succeed in this process. So that's my ultimate game and goal. But today I want to talk to you about my personal journey, how I even became to know about diabetes, and that's by way of my son's failed pancreas. My son had just started kindergarten. He was 6 years old, and we have been watching him. You know, it's the beginning of school, like most mothers or parents do. They go get school supplies and school uniforms. And I had already done his little test to see, try on these clothes, those clothes, to see how, what size you still wear, to see what I need to buy for you when school starts. And I already knew that I needed to buy him a 7. And so I went out, bought a bunch of 7s. He was ready to go. However, as school started, everything was fine. He was wearing the 7s. Some of the 6s he could still wear, but they were a little bit snug. I knew he could probably have a couple more months where he could get by with them, but they weren't going to last long. So anyway, every morning I do like most moms do. I'm watching the kids, make sure they're dressed, make sure they have everything they need. Hair is combed, teeth are brushed, face is washed, eating breakfast, everything is good. And I've watched him every day that he went to school. When he would come home, we would do homework, eat dinner, they'd have a little free time, take a bath, go to bed. But shortly, I would say school started in August. Around September, probably after his birthday, when he would come home for homework, it began to be a challenge. He would be crying. He just didn't want to do it. He would say he was tired, and he would be irritable and have a bad attitude. And we just didn't understand, what was going on. So of course, we tried different methods of, how to help him. Hey, son, do this. We bribe him with that. We'll give you extra minutes, before bed if you, have a good attitude and go ahead and get this homework done. But it was a struggle and we didn't really know why. Then we sit down to dinner. I see that I have 2 people here. I can't see who you are. Say hello so I can see your names, but just know that I appreciate you showing up. Thank you for taking the time. Please share this video with your friends if you can. But anyway, we would eat dinner and we'd sit down to dinner and he'd eat his normal amount of food. Then all of a sudden he'd be like, can I have some more? And he would down that second plate of food. And we're like, And then he would sometimes ask for a third. And I'd say, wait a minute, son, that's a lot. You don't really need that much. But he wanted it. And we're thinking, okay, well, he's eating. He's got a good appetite, appetite. That's normal, right? That's normal. So no biggie. Then the next thing we start noticing is that before bed, he'd always have to have water. Oh, mommy, hold on, wait a minute. I need water. I'm thirsty. And this increased to sometimes, then a little bit more frequently. It never got to the point of what I found in all the literature called excessive thirst, but it was increased thirst. But I was thinking, well, sure, you want kids to drink more water, right? And I don't have to argue with him. That's a win, right? No big deal. We're winning. We're great parents. Yay. No. So he's drinking the water. Didn't pay really any attention to the water frequency. I noticed, yeah, okay, he's drinking a little bit more water. This is great. Then eventually, when it got to the point where he needed a special bottle or had to have a special cup because he always had to have his water, then it kind of started thinking, what's up with that? Maybe this is not right. But everything else was normal. So then, eating, drinking, his weight and his level of activity, it was still the same. He still ran around, jumped around on all my couches, throwing socks and all kinds of balls and toys and dunking his sister, doing all the things he normally did. So his energy appeared the same to me. So we started asking his teacher, hey, is everything the same in school? Because, we're kind of noticing some things at home. Are you noticing anything in school? Oh, no, everything's the same. He's not drinking more than other kids. He's not going to the restroom more than other kids. Oh, no, it's all the same. So we were confused. We were like, well, if this is diabetes, wouldn't the same things happen at home happen at school? So since they're not, then maybe this is just the isolated incidents. I'm reading all this literature about kids who kind of regress at around the 6-year-old age, getting into school and all the changes or what have you. Then he started wetting the bed. And when he started wetting the bed, we just thought, well, man, he is drinking all this water, so maybe it's just the water. But we still were watching him. I went ahead and scheduled him an appointment to see his doctor, but it was going to take us about a month to get in because everything else seemed normal. I didn't really fret about that. Fast forward to being in the grocery store. Every time we get in a grocery store, he'd have to pee. I've got to the point where I'd be like, pee at home before you leave, so that we wouldn't have to be in the back of Walmart or some big, huge, gigantic grocery store here in Houston and have to walk all the way back to the front because he has to use the bathroom. It was getting on my nerves. It was killing me, but it was becoming a habit. So then finally one morning I'm looking at him, I'm thinking about all these little things, and I just noticed that, wait a minute, he has on these pants and they look pretty baggy. Okay, well that's good. But then I realized that's not the size 7 pants. These are the size 6 pants. So he's losing weight. So then my antennas really go up. So I'm watching him like a hawk now. I'm talking more to the teacher. I'm paying attention to everything he's doing, but none of these symptoms all came crashing down at the same time in a way for us to really see what we needed to see until the morning. November 18th, I had just had my birthday on November 16th, hung out with my friends, took the kids to a birthday party that previous day. He wakes up at about 4 a.m. in the morning saying, Mommy, I'm thirsty. And so Dorian gets up and he goes to get him water. He comes back. About 10 minutes later, he comes back and says he's thirsty again. We go back and get him more water. Then about 5 minutes later, he says he's hungry. Well, it's early. We're still sleeping. We give him a few grapes. He says he wants grapes. He eats the grapes. So the next thing you know, he's shivering and we're looking at him like, man, are you cold? And he's like, I don't feel good. So he wanted to lay on our floor. So we made him some blankets and he just laid on our floor and he laid there. And the next thing you know, he's up again saying he's thirsty. And this time, before Dorian could get out of the kitchen and before he could fill up the water, I'm thirsty, Mom. He would drink it. I'm thirsty. I'm still thirsty. I'm still thirsty. I'm still thirsty. I'm still thirsty. Then we got scared. We're like, wait a minute, what is the deal? We can't even give him cups fast enough to meet his level of thirst. This is not normal. Then he's shivering. The next thing you know, he's throwing up the grapes. He couldn't hold them down. And we're like, wait a minute, he's throwing up the grapes. I'm just running down this checklist in my head. Okay, he can't hold down food. He's throwing up grapes. Let's check his temperature. He checked his temperature. His temperature was actually low. His lips start turning blue. I started panicking, but I stayed calm. I called his doctor and kind of explained, okay, what's going on here? Do we need to come to emergency room, or do we need to go to urgent care? Sorry, I lost my thought. I can't think of what the name of it is. Urgent care. And they were like, well, they gave me some scenarios. Well, if this and this and this happens, just take him to urgent care. So the next thing we look at is he's shivering cold. He was going to sit on the bathroom floor after having thrown up so we could clean him up. And literally, he looked like he lost weight overnight. I could see his pelvis bones. I could see the bones in his back. He did not look like this yesterday. Yesterday, he was a normal size. He was not. He just was emaciated. So at that point, that's when I was like, I've had it. We loaded the kids up, dressed them, ran to the urgent care so that we could at least assess and see what was going on, because the ERs were pretty far from us. And the first thing they did was check his blood sugar, and she told us his blood sugar is 500. And she just was amazed, just astounded. She was like, I can't believe he's still alive. I mean, not alive. Oh, Lord. She was like, I can't believe he's still alert. Normally, kids at this age with this number would be they would be unconscious. She was like, I'm just so glad he's still alert. So she immediately called the ambulance. They take us over to the ER, and the main ER was full, so we had to do all this different stuff this one day. But when she said it was diabetes, it just broke my heart, because I had a friend at work whose son had been diagnosed just 2 years prior, and I know some of what she had been going through, and I just couldn't believe that this was about to be our life. So after we go from one emergency room to the other emergency room, and they confirm, yes, our test confirms that he has diabetes. I'm just like, how did this happen? What did we do wrong? How did we cause this? So, all kinds of guilt, all kinds of guilt was going through our minds. So when I talk about people having even type 2 and the guilt that you go through, I know you want to know, how did I do this? How did this happen? Who did this to me? What is the cause? And so all the doctors who came through to see him kept telling us, oh, you did so well. You did so well. You caught it so early. And we're like, what? Caught it early? What is early? Sorry. It's hard to not get emotional. But caught it early? What do you mean early? I mean, I've been watching him for weeks, and I didn't know. I didn't know. I've been watching him for weeks. What do you mean early? I was angry, and I'm like, what do you mean early? And they kept saying, you caught it early. You caught it early. Oh, another doctor, you caught it so early. You guys are so lucky. And we're just looking at them like, what are you freaking talking about? We're lucky. He has diabetes. How are we lucky? And they finally said, okay, well, I guess the part that we haven't explained is that normally when kids are diagnosed with diabetes, we find them passed out on the playground and they're unconscious, and they come into the ICU and they are there for a week just with us trying to wake them up, bring them back to health, and then they still spend another week in the hospital getting rebalanced and back on track. Your son rolled in here alert. All we had to do was pop in some fluids, get his numbers right, get him some insulin, and he's on his way. You caught it early. Okay. Well, I guess since the 18th doctor has told me we caught it early and that it wasn't our fault, I will have to believe them. So that's how we all started. We started from literally having 2 children, Devin all the way up to 6 years old, no problems other than allergies, which caused a little congestion, minor stuff, He was healthy. He had nothing. We go from 5 well-year child appointments to year 6, couldn't even make it to the appointment. Oh, because I forgot to say that his appointment for year 6 was scheduled just 2 days after he was admitted to the hospital. So we go from completely healthy kid to boom, here's diabetes. And everything just changed. Our whole entire lives changed. How we operate in the world changed. How we manage food changed. How we manage time changed. How our money manages us at times. It all changed. And because of this one thing. And so I can only tell you that I have a passion to help people. Everything that I went through, I want to help people get the shortcut. I don't want you to have to go through the long, dark nights like I did, standing in the kitchen crying over a lunch kit because you got to figure out how to make this healthy and how to give him something that he will actually eat. You know, it was crazy trying to keep his blood sugars level when he'd go either super low or super high, and he had to have all kinds of snacks all day long. And it was just a really hard process to manage. So we've gone through bottles to needles to pens to the pump. We've done them all. And it's been a process. So what the message that I have for you today is to know that I know that it's not easy. I know that you work very hard to do the little bit or the lot that you do. So I just want everybody to feel encouraged that you can turn this around. And if you have type 1 and it's not going anywhere anytime soon, there are a lot of things you can do to minimize your need for as much insulin and to help your body feel better and move better than it has in a long time. So if you have any questions or any comments or anything you want to say, please put it in the comments. I will definitely come back to respond to those. And again, I want to thank you for taking the time to show up. If you're catching this on the replay, I appreciate you. I hope that you will share this with your friends and families because, as I've told you before, it takes a village to kick diabetes to the curb. A lot of our diabetes friends are very strong people. They're very private people, and they are not going to ask for your help. So I need you to put this information in front of them and let them know that there's somebody out here for them. There's somebody out here who knows what they're going through and who really wants them to succeed. I don't want to hear about another person in an amputation line. I don't want to hear about another person having problems with their eyes because of diabetes. I don't want to hear about dialysis. And in order for me not to hear about it, I got to be a part of the solution. And I hope you will too. So if you liked anything here or if you resonated with anything that I've said, please give some likes and hearts. Those really make me feel great and help me to know that you are as interested in this stuff as I am and that you want to know more. And if you want to stay connected, please go to my website at www.adiabetictypelife.com and you can sign up for my ebook, which will give you the 6 steps to push through diabetes overwhelm, and it will give you a chance to get on my email list so that I can send you helpful tips and encouragement in your email box just once a week, not every day, just once a week, to keep you motivated and inspired to want to continue to fight for your life. So if you know somebody who is struggling or has diabetes, send this to them, and I will just say be well and test often and have a great day.